Happy Sunday, folks, and PS3 users, it is your time to shine. But first, let's say hello, Richard Jefferson. Haven't seen that in a while. He was a really fun player to watch prior to his injuries in New Jersey. But we are playing a few subscriber session games here on the PS3, and this is James Harden once again, doing it on both systems there with a nice little tip slam. Probably some of the better tip slams coming up right here with Dwayne Wade. But I will say this. I really didn't get a chance to play as many games as I wanted to here on the PS3. I don't know what it was. It could have been the fact that we were playing during prime time. But I definitely did struggle to get a lot of games in with people just because the 2K servers really weren't working as well as I had hoped. But that being said, these definitely won't be our last subscriber sessions here on 2K11. I'm hoping for some more later this week, maybe like Thursday or Friday. That is still to be determined at this point. But we're definitely having a lot of fun with these, and I can't wait to do a few more as Dwayne Wade once again going airborne, just jumping all over the place here in this All-Star game. But got a full game here. This was a private match, all with subscribers. We could only really manage 7, maybe 8 players before the games would lag out and we'd get disconnected. We're playing as the Knicks versus the Heat. Fairly good matchup, a lot of offense, obviously. And just like last video, I'm probably going to be straying here on the commentary to all kinds of random topics. In last video, it was about my most embarrassing moment in my life, and that was a major fail. But I think people more or less enjoyed that. But today we're going to be talking about, bad release there with Chauncey. But we're going to be talking about my most favorite sports memories over the past, well, probably 15 years that I've been a serious sports fan. Starting out with, I guess really the first game that I can truly remember. I was 9, it was 1997, and Michigan was playing Ohio State in their final regular season game with a national championship berth on the line. And as we all know, Charles Woodson just went off, basically cementing himself as the first primarily defensive player ever to win the Heisman Trophy. And then, you know, from there, that kind of just launched my entire crazy sports fanaticism. And I would say it was around that time that I was really beginning to get into the Pistons as well. We weren't winning much, but Grant Hill was a young and rising star. And, let's not talk about that. But, you know, it was really unfortunate that it did get injured, but it really led to the birth and the creation of our, you know, I guess you could say Bad Boys version 2.0, and I'm not sure how I got that steal. I'll take that bucket over Joel Anthony. You know, that team was probably my favorite team, but I'm still a diehard fan, even though we're going through some tough times. You know, obviously that 2004 run through the playoffs beating the Lakers was definitely up there for me. Just a really magical run for us. But there's a lot of other teams and games out there that aren't necessarily my favorite teams that I would say, you know, they're some of my best sports memories. I would say, for example, the Packers game in 2003, I believe it was on Monday Night Football for Brett Favre. I'm not even a fan of Brett Favre, but his dad had just died the night before. Some of you might remember this, and it was one of the most legendary games, I would say, I don't know, in my heart. Came back and he threw for 4 touchdowns, like 380 yards or something. I just can't even imagine what he was going through in that moment. Just an emotional game, and I was only like 15 at the time, but even then I was just, I don't know, I almost cried manly tears. And for something a little more recent here, I would say there was another game that really was a lot of fun for me to watch. Syracuse versus Connecticut. I think it was in 2009 in the Big East tourney. That was just a game where, you know, I could not stop watching. I wasn't a fan of either team, but, you know, it went to 6 overtimes. There were times where in each overtime you thought the team had won, hit buzzer beaters that were too late. You know, fouls and controversial fouls, all of that. It was just an amazing game. Even for somebody who's not a fan of those teams, you just can't help but love a game like that. Obviously, one of my favorite football games of all time would be that Texas-USC Rose Bowl. That was like 2005 or 2006. That was just star-studded, and Vince Young probably had one of the best performances on the big stage I've ever seen. It's too bad he isn't, you know, a little more consistent right now in the NFL because he was a really fun player to watch. And it's something that you guys might not appreciate, I guess. I probably wouldn't have appreciated if I was younger. I'm not a golf player whatsoever. I mean, I can play, but I'm not very good at it whatsoever. But I did watch the 2008 U.S. Open. That was when Tiger was injured, and he went to, well, probably one of the best, I guess, performances I've ever seen from him. Just clutch putts. All of them were long. Playing against Rocco Mediate, who was on track to get one of his first and probably biggest victories at like an age of like 45. And it was a very entertaining golf match, or I don't know what you call them. That's how big of a fan I am. But you know, I watched from beginning to end. They went into the playoff, and it was just amazing. I don't think I'll ever see something quite like that again in my time. I mean, maybe I will, but I probably won't turn on the TV. But, you know, those are just a few of my memories. I don't really know what you guys are thinking as Carmelo goes big. But you feel free to share some of them. I know you guys will have a lot of homework calls like I do. I know I've got a lot of Michigan teams and Detroit teams that, you know, I talked about. But at the same time, you can see I definitely enjoyed some other big games. There were certainly a lot of other huge games out there over the past, you know, 2 decades. But feel free to share those. And I guess you'll probably notice that that was a bad miss there by Amari. But overall, we've been having a pretty much amazing game so far. Some great ball movement down low here. Carmelo kicking it off to Amari for the easy dunk. I'm actually close to a triple-double with Chauncey. I've been getting a lot of ridiculous rebounds so far. And, you know, they've kind of given up at this point. That would be the Heat. As you can see, Eric Dampier is in at point guard. At this point, we should really bring in our second string, which we'll do here in a minute. But Carmelo with an open look here. He will finally miss a shot. He's been so hot. But you know what? You got to watch out for Chauncey on defense. LeBron, you know, get that garbage out of here. Did not think that was even possible to do with Chauncey, but you know what? I'm having a good time, and you know, it's just adding to my ridiculous stats so far. And right here, I was trying to go off glass, but Carmelo was a little bit too fast for Chauncey there. Obviously, Chauncey doesn't have the legs that he used to have, but this is a terrible shot by Juwan Howard. And we get a nice rebound there with Landry Fields. And we've got a hustling Amari down the court. Not sure if this is necessary at this point, and the 2K gods will make him miss, but I get another rebound. And a little beautiful up fake there. Now have a double-double. Just need one more diamond. I've got the triple-double. So I'm going to kick it to a wide-open Carmelo here along the sideline. Eric Dampier with some good closeout there, but Carmelo will still wet that from the corner. His first triple for the game. I now got that elusive triple-double. Didn't even think that was possible with Chauncey. I've got Tony Douglas in the game. That's a good rebound and good defense here from Jared Jeffries. I'm going to get the easy little layup here. Getting mine here because I've been dishing the rock pretty well so far. And definitely having a good game. And I'm still trying to pile up the assist here, and that'd be a wide-open Anthony Carter. He will miss, but Jared Jeffries padding his stat line there with 2 offensive rebounds and a nice little put back there down low. Kicking it to Ronnie Turioff with a spin jumper here. Going for the tip-in, but I get stolen there from a teammate. I don't know what's up with that. But Mike Bibby is way too aggressive here. I'm going to take a contested jump shot in his face and knock it down. So unfortunately for you Heat fans out there, we still aren't quite done taking it to you. Going along the sideline here to Jared Jeffries with a foot on the line. He will knock that one down. That's a deep 2. And another great rebound here from Anthony Carter, of all people. Outletting to me, and we've got a hustling Jared Jeffries once again with the Ellie layup. I don't think I've ever seen him run that fast. And 7.9 to go here. Just got intentionally fouled. And we're going to go one more time along the sideline. I sucked Jared Jeffries back into the playing field, feet behind the line, and knocking down the tray. That is just an embarrassing defeat there, but it was all in good fun. They definitely took it to us in a few games here and there. And like I said, I'd love to have played a lot more games, but the servers really weren't cooperating. That'll probably be happening again here later this week, certainly not in the next few days. But I'm going to be spending a few days out of town here, or at least really busy. So I'm going to try and really get caught up on those playoffs here with Jackie Moon and maybe even a little bit of MLB, so you guys can watch out for that. But overall, I hope you guys have enjoyed all these subscriber sessions. I really want to get more people cycled in and we can all play together. So watch out for those. But thanks again, as always, and have a good one, folks.